Straight ahead on WBKB News at 11, a father and his son were lucky to escape a house fire in Alpena this morning. Plus, dozens of young boys and girls flocked to Northern Lights Arena to try out hockey. And an old Polish tradition continues in Alpena. Find out what the Punchki sale is all about. We'll have those stories, plus your local weather and sports. WBKB News at 11 starts now.
East Michigan's award-winning news team. Your source for news, weather, and sports. We are WBKB News at 11.
2 Alpena residents were taken to the hospital this morning after their home caught on fire. Good evening, I'm Ashley Reed. Around 8 o'clock this morning, the Alpena Fire Department responded to a fire at 406 Beebe Street. After arriving at the scenes, crews were notified that the homeowner Jason Zebetowski and his son Tyler had jumped out of an upstairs window to escape the fire. Both landed in a bush outside the front of the house and were taking shelter at a neighbor's house across the street. Zebetowski and his son were taken to Alpena Regional Medical Center and treated for first and second degree burns to the face. They were released and made it back home to the fire before crews left the scene. After more than an hour of battling, crews were able to get the fire under control, but not before both levels of the house suffered heavy fire and smoke damage. The cause of the fire is still under investigation at this time. And dozens of kids showed up today to try out hockey for free at Northern Lights Arena. The Alpena Hockey Association teamed up with USA Hockey to take part in their Hockey Across America celebration. The celebration that lasts all weekend is part of a nationwide effort to encourage young kids to play hockey. Boys and girls were invited to come out, lace up their skates, and give the sport a try. The 1-hour free clinic allowed kids to learn all the basics of hockey in a fun, safe environment.
We want to make it fun for the kids and make them want to come back and hopefully bug their parents every night before they go to bed that they want to play hockey. And that's what we're going for.
Involved playing hockey, it's a family, it's any type of sport. Once you have a team sport, the whole family gets involved, and that's what we like to instill in those in the kids and the parents. Get involved, and you'll find you really like it once you get to meet all the people and become part of that group.
Helmets, sticks, and skates were made available for all the kids that attended today's clinic. The nationwide weekend-long celebration continues tomorrow with Celebrate Local Hockey Heroes Day. And today was the first day of a 30 Days of Giving campaign to help Alpena High School's athletic department. People's Department Store in Alpena is holding this fundraising campaign from today through March 30th. All month long, People's customers will have the option to make a donation to the AHS Athletic Department through the Register PIN pad. They can choose to donate in the amount of $1, $5, or $10.
I just hope that everybody wants to come and help out our schools. They really need the money, and help your community.
The AHS Athletic Department will keep 100% of the proceeds. In return for their donations, customers will receive a Community Counts Savings Pass for 30% off their entire in-store purchase and 10% off cosmetics and fragrances. This is the first time Peoples has participated in the 30 Days of Giving campaign. They hope to continue the fundraiser with a new cause each year. The Home Depot in Alpena kicked off their 6th annual home show today. Once to twice a year, the store invites in local customers who want to learn how to fix up their homes. Several free clinics were held to demonstrate flooring, tiling, roofing, and much more. Vendors from across the state also attended the show to give customers an idea of what their product can do for their home. The store hopes to help the community save money.
We want to give back to the community, and if we can teach people to do stuff for themselves and save them money, that's a benefit for everybody, because they'll be coming in to here to learn. Hopefully they'll spend money with us, but our ultimate objective is to take care of the customer. So the home show brings everybody together at one time to discuss, to talk, to learn, and to hopefully have fun building a house or remodeling your home.
Along with the vendor stands and clinics, the store also offered free games, food, and workshops for kids. The Home Depot hopes to hold another home show later this fall. A Polish tradition continued today in Alpena at the All Saints Catholic School. St. Mary's hosted their annual Punchki sale. People came together around 4 o'clock this morning to begin the long process of making these Polish donuts. It's an old tradition to make these Punchkis every year before Lent begins. The tradition has been around now for more than 50 years.
It's our heritage here at St. Mary's. The Polish people of the parish like to have this, and they are coming out. Their children come and help. Their grandchildren come and help. and we are determined at St. Mary's to keep that tradition alive.
Alistair Cartwright is in town all the way from New Zealand visiting his aunt and uncle. He says he wanted to see what this punchki tradition was all about.
I've never seen so many punchkis, let alone any kind of punchki in my life, so it's great to see so many, and these folks are working so hard.
Today there were more than 6,000 punchkis for sale, raisins, dates, and plain with sugar or powdered sugar on top. The sale will continue tomorrow at the All Saints Catholic School after St. Mary's 10:30 a.m. Mass. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, education lobbyists want to redirect some of the money in the state's school budget bill. Find out where they think the money should go. Plus, Google is donating nearly $7 million to help low-income city kids. We'll tell you exactly where that money is going and why. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In state news, education lobbyists are wanting to redirect some of the money in Michigan's school budget bill. WLNS reporter Tim Skubik has more from Lansing.
I agree completely.
There's one vote, and there could be more. These education lobbyists want to reshuffle some of the money in the school budget bill and redirect it into what they call the foundation grant, the amount of money that goes to every school kid in the state. And they can do it, they claim, without raising taxes, but by taking money from these special programs called categoricals, such as the virtual university. Here's the math. The governor has proposed a $111 increase. Educators want to bump that by $167 to make it $290 for most schools and $250 for the rich schools. The school board lobbyist argues this allows local schools to decide where the money goes and not the state, and all would be basically treated the same.
Spreads it across everybody and says, you know what, local board, local superintendent, parents, community, you decide how to spend this money because you know best in your community.
Categoricals pick winners and losers. There's no place for that in education. Every child should receive the same amount of money.
This lawmaker wants to continue the conversation, but has a concern. If you put more money into the per-pupil grant today, what happens tomorrow if there's an economic hiccup and there's not enough money to fund the increases?
In the event there is any kind of a hiccup, and we just don't have enough money sitting there idly on the side to cover that we could run into a problem, and then they're going to be infuriated.
Lawmakers begin their review of this idea, but it has not been rejected out of hand just yet.
Your Money Watch: when the weather warms up, so too will the U.S. economy. That's the prevailing view of economists who shrugged off yesterday's report from the government that the economy was weaker last quarter than first estimated. The University of Michigan conducted a survey that found consumer confidence among young Americans is up. In fact, those under the age of 35 have actually grown more optimistic that their pay will increase 5% within the next year. And Google is donating nearly $7 million to allow San Francisco to continue providing free bus and other transportation services to low-income city kids. The donation was part of a deal brokered by the city's mayor. He's received backlash from some in the community who blame the technology industry for San Francisco's rapidly rising cost of living. Gas prices across the state are up from last weekend. GasBuddy.com and AAA of Michigan put together state and local gas prices. The highest price for gas in Alpena is coming in at $3.72 at Shell. The lowest is $3.70 at Admiral. Across the state, the highest gas price is $3.99 in Romulus. The lowest price is coming in at $3.28 in Detroit. And there is still much more to come on WBKB News at 11. Jeff Kolb will be in with a look at sports, and it felt a little bit warmer with the sun shining today. I'll be right back to let you know what your weather looks like for the rest of the week. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It's time now to take a look at the weather. As you can see today, the high was 17 degrees, the low was 9 degrees. Normal high for this day is 33 degrees, normal low is 14, so we were a little bit colder than the average temperatures for this day. Record high was 48 degrees, that was back in 1990. Record low 23 below, that was back in 1962. Sunrise this morning was at 7:12, sunset this evening around 6:22. And taking a look at the current conditions here in Alpena, currently it's 4 degrees, north-northwest winds around 10 miles per hour, making it really feel like 11 below. So make sure you don't have exposed skin if you are still going outside tonight. And then taking a look at the satellite and radar, you can see most of that precipitation is staying to the south of us. We really shouldn't see much freezing rain or snow tonight. Should just be mostly cloudy, low of -4 degrees. Northwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, the low with the wind chills could drop as low as -17. And then taking a look tomorrow, it is going to be cold. High of only 9 degrees. Northwest winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Still, that wind chill could hit around 17 below. And then moving into tomorrow night, partly cloudy, 9 below for our low. I know everyone's wanting to see a warm up soon. Northwest winds around 10 miles per hour. However, that wind chill could get below in the -20s. And taking a look at the week ahead in our extended weather forecast, for Monday we have a 20% chance of snow showers. Wind chill values could drop as low as 24 below once again. Tuesday, 30% chance of snow will hit a high of 20 degrees. Lows still in the negatives through most of the week. Wednesday and Thursday we should see some sunshine. High of 35 degrees on Friday, which is going to feel great compared to the temperatures we've had. Then that low will drop down to 14 degrees. And now it's time for today's photo of the day. Today's photo was sent in by Sheena and April von Fintel. They sent us this photo of a sunset on a warm, sunny day in Gainesville, Florida. You all might be thinking thanks for rubbing it in, but they say if we all think sunny and 75, we might get some warmer weather. Well, get to thinking, everyone, because I am more than ready for sunny and 75. Thank you, Sheena and April, for sharing this photo with us. If you have a photo you would like to send us, just email a photo along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com. In your Health Watch, a new government study finds obesity rates are still high in the U.S. but are improving for preschoolers. Researchers weighed and measured more than 9,000 people from 2011 to 2012. They found a third of adults and 17% of children and teens are obese, but for children ages 2 to 5, obesity rates dropped 43%. New research shows a simple prenatal blood test is more accurate for genetic screening even in low-risk women. The test measures fragments of DNA that are circulating in the bloodstream. If the count is too high, the baby could have an extra chromosome present. The test is considered less invasive than amniocentesis. Results take about a week to 10 days. And beware of your doctor's stethoscope. A new study from the Mayo Clinic finds that stethoscopes have more bacteria than the doctor's own hands. While physicians know to wash their hands, the Mayo Clinic says the same care should be taken for stethoscopes, which should be disinfected after each use. And in national news, high tension still in Ukraine. The Russians sent thousands of troops to the country, and leaders in the Ukraine warn it could lead to war. CBS's Allison Harmelin reports from New York.
Pro-Russian demonstrators stormed an administration building in northeast Ukraine, then proudly flew the Russian flag. Many Ukrainians align themselves more with nearby Russia than their own country. The protesters showed they don't support the new Ukrainian government. This after Russia's President Vladimir Putin got the green light from his parliament Saturday to proceed with military intervention. Russian troops are already in control of parts of Crimea. The Russian government says they're protecting their interests in the region. In response, the Ukraine's acting prime minister put his armed forces on full combat alert and warned that Russian military intervention could lead to war. Members of the UN Security Council gathered here for an emergency meeting to address the rapidly deteriorating situation in the Slavic nation of 46 million people. Ukraine's UN ambassador asked the Security Council to take action.
This action by the Russian Federation constitutes an act of aggression against the state of Ukraine.
America's UN ambassador called for international support of the new Ukrainian government.
Intervention by the Russian military will be both a grave mistake and will have costs and consequences.
President Obama spoke over the phone with Vladimir Putin for 90 minutes Saturday afternoon. The president condemned the military action and urged Putin to pull back his troops. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, New York.
About 40% of Ukraine's population considers Russian to be their native language. Sports is coming up next, but first Jeff Kolb is here with a preview of what's ahead. Lots of basketball today, huh, Jeff?
That's right, Ashley. We got an early taste of high school playoff basketball today in Hillman. That highlight coming up. Plus, wrestling states wrapped up in Detroit. 2 local wrestlers were competing for titles. We'll show you how they did after the break. Wrestlers dream for years of taking the mat on this day, the final one at the state tournament. Today, 2 area wrestlers got their shot at becoming state champs. Whittemore Prescott heavyweight Ryan Prescott was looking to defend his state title, and he does, pinning his way through the state tournament to complete an undefeated 37-0 season. Prescott is only a junior and has only lost 5 matches so far in his career and has put the Cardinals on the map in a very big way.
It means everything in the world to be a defending state champ. It feels like you're on top of the world. You cannot have a better feeling. But it puts our school on the map, you know. It makes our kids proud. It makes our teachers proud, you know, and it makes me proud, you know, to be a Whittemore Prescott Cardinal.
And the dream came true for Onaway junior Joe Trainum as well, winning the Division IV 112-pound title by beating defending state champ Roddy Hamden 16-4. Trainum finishes up his season with a 47-4 record and the Cardinals' first state title in wrestling since 2007.
Coach has been trying to get me that fire for 4 years now, and it's been my main goal, so I was just, there's no words to explain it. Joe was a kid that just doesn't get rattled. He focuses on his job, and he wrestles 6 minutes or whatever it takes. He's a state champion forever now.
Meanwhile, Trainum's teammate Isaac Nave captured 5th place at 119 pounds earlier in the day. Rogers City 215-pound senior Andrew Selke wins a 4-3 decision to take 3rd place, and earlier his teammate senior Jacob Sobek ends his career with a pin right here to take 7th at 140 pounds. So just a great day for the Hurons. Finally, Mayo's Patrick Stevens loses at 103 pounds, but still takes home 6th place, wrapping up just a great day of wrestling for Northeast Michigan. The bowling individual state tournament was also today, and several local bowlers had quite the impressive showing. In Division IV, 2 Rogers City boys making it through to the championship round, defending state champ Bailey Budnick finishing in the quarterfinals, while his teammate Alex Darga getting within a match of the state title showdown. 3 girls also qualifying for the quarterfinals, Alana Wergo and Rebecca Banish making it through qualifying for Rogers City, while Paige Hubel also advanced to the quarterfinals for Oscoda. Last night's loss kept the Street Cats 3 points back of the 3rd place Fighting Irish. Tonight, Alpena looking to pull within 1 with Detroit in town, and the Cats got right down to business in the first. Garrett Bailey to Vladislav Kosanov, 1-zip Alpena. Then at the other end, Ken Winter fires this shot right off the post, so the Cats keep the lead and then add to it. Kosanov, top shelf on the power play. He was on fire. Alpena up 2. But later in the first, the Fighting Irish break through. Josh Arnold punches it in, and in the end, Detroit takes it 3-2. The teams hit the ice again tomorrow at 2. Meanwhile, on the hard court this afternoon, Hillman and Posen squared off in a possible District 120 championship preview. A win, and the Tigers wrap up their first outright North Star League title ever. But let's not jump the gun here. Travis Sharp starting the game with a pair of threes, 6-0 Vikes. Then Leon Bacard flashes in the post for the bucket here, 8-zip Posen. Hillman needs time. They're like, hey, let's hoist up a bunch of threes. Maybe that'll work. And you know what? It did. Mason Van Pammel, he hits from the top of the key, 14-10 Hillman after the first. Then Gunnar Libby fouled and still hits the 3, 4-point play for him. Hillman with 7 deep balls before the break as part of a 34-15 run as the Tigers claim their title, 59-43. Also tonight, the Joburg boys topping Fairview in a shootout, 72-64. Brandon Huff led the Cards with 19, while Hudson Sabelak scored 30 in the loss. Michigan State started the basketball season 20-1. Then the Spartans lost to Michigan, and they haven't won back-to-back games since. State trying to right the ship today with Illinois in town. Spartans down 6 late first half. Gavin Schilling throwing down. State would tie it at half, and he was taking dimes after the break as well. This time from Adrian Payne on the feed. Spartans up 30-28, but the Illini wouldn't go away. Ravante Rice with the 3 ball there, 40-32 Illinois. So we need more Schillings. Gavin, he's there for another dunk, but the Spartans giving away another one, losing 53-46. Meanwhile, Michigan trying to win 3 straight. Minnesota in town, 2 minutes left first half. This works, right? Nick Stauskas to Glenn Robinson the third. Wolverines up 6. And the air show continued after the break. This time it's Karis LeVert up to Robinson. Michigan leading by 4. Then Spike Albrecht, he's a little guy, so he's like, Here's another way to levitate Holmes. Michigan wins it 66-56, clinching at least a share of the Big Ten title. Finally, the Pistons trying to stop a 3-game losing skid. Detroit visiting Houston. Not a warm welcome. Brandon Jennings turns it over to James Harden. He feeds Terrence Jones for this dunk. Rockets up 14-4. Later in the first quarter, Andre Drummond, at least he's doing his job. The tip back cuts the deficit to 14, but Houston dominating Detroit to the tune of a 118-110 victory. So before the break, you pretty much summed up a lot of basketball.
Lots of basketball,
a lot
lots
of all
wrestling.
sports, right?
Yeah, good day in sports.
I don't think we left anything out. I hope not.
No.
So
a
lot going on. Again, congrats to those state championship wrestlers.
That's very exciting.
Congrats to the bowlers. So a lot going on today. I think we can take a nice deep breath tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff. Coming up next on WBKB News at 11, a monkey who decided he wanted to steal a tourist camera to take his own selfie. That story after the break. Thanks for joining us. A Brazilian tourist was given a shock by a cheeky monkey when it stole his video camera to take a selfie. The tourist from Brazil was visiting the Uluwatu temple in Bali when he decided to film himself feeding the local monkeys. But one of the monkeys grabbed his camera before running off with it into the forest. In the video posted online 2 days later, the camera owner can be heard shouting, "Yo, yo, monkey, no, no, no," as people laugh in the background. The video has been watched nearly 100,000 times since being posted on YouTube on January 22nd. The monkey eventually let go of the camera once a helpful member of the temple staff gave it a piece of fruit. And that's a talented monkey because by the video, it looks like he was getting quite a good shot of himself.
Clearly, that guy does not know how to talk to monkeys.
No.
We can pretty much establish
I just
that
love
one.
how he, like, you see him feeding the food and all of a sudden there goes the camera.
So I guess not something that he was going to see in California like his shirt indicated. So
I wonder if that's something that the temple staff have to deal with, though, because they obviously knew what to do by giving him a piece of fruit.
Hopefully they're in with the monkey community and everything's pretty cool out there. Anyways, enough of monkeys. Remember, you can read more about our broadcast stories and get the scoop on more news items online.
Just visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
Or remember, you can add us on Facebook at facebook.com/WBKBTV.
That will do it for tonight's show, but be sure to tune in again tomorrow night at 11. I'll be back with your local news, and Jeff will be back with all of your updates from the world of sports. Have a great night.